Okay, we are recording. So that way we can get started. So we can record it too, and we don't keep you guys that actually got on with the right link that I posted the first time. I apologize, you guys, for posting the wrong link the second time. It's good. Okay. All right. So I'm glad Teresa told us about that. Thank you, Teresa. All right. So we're going to talk about sip and seas tonight. One of my favorite things, and I know we've talked about these before, but what I have seen that my aunt and I were talking about this morning is these are becoming more popular again. And most of you know that I have been with Plexus for about 6.5 years. So I know, like Allison, for one, has, and my aunt has been to quite a few different sip and seas opportunity events that our team has hosted throughout those years. And first 3 years probably of growing my business was really a lot of those. It was super fun. And then we just kind of got out of them. And kind of crazy that we did, but you know how it just kind of goes in spurts, that you do different things for your business. And so I see that all coming back around. And I think it's really exciting times because of having the active in there too, because back then the slim was like our biggest thing. Everybody wanted to taste the slim. So now we have 2 options of the slim to taste, and the active and the lean that we get to mix up and kind of have on hand. So I'll kind of talk about that a little bit. But I really believe, you guys, with the sip and seas, the personal interaction, the one-on-one, just giving them the chance to, like we said, taste those products, but also get to talk to you personally, talk to other people that have maybe the same health goals, health issues, you know, being able to see the excitement of other people and hear testimonies. Like that was one big thing that we would do at some sip and seas too, or mainly kind of like the opportunity events. But this, you know, hearing the testimony, or hearing you there personally talking to them about your story or somebody else's story, if you don't have one yet, is very powerful. And I think it's just so effective when you're doing that. Hello, Marilyn. Marilyn joined us. Hi. And so I was really, yes, hello. Sorry, I posted the wrong link the second time. So I apologize if you were one of those who got on the wrong link. So
I found you anyway.
You're good, Marilyn. Good job. And Miss Alma joined us. Hello, Alma. So anyways, we were just talking, you guys, just talking about how, you know, we've done the sip and seas in the past. And so I feel it's super, super effective. And I'm kind of excited these are coming back around with all the new products we've got coming on. Lots of fun things. And I really think, you guys, with the CBD coming out this fall, this is also going to be another big, powerful thing to really start doing now. It's always fun. I remember when we would have a new product come out and we didn't have as many frequent products that came out. But that was the time, like, okay, let's get another sip and see schedule. So the big thing on doing these that I want you guys to understand is you don't have to do them. It's not like this is your business. You know, you can do them. You don't have to do them, but we want to make them fun. And I don't want them to be scary. I know so many people say, I'm so scared to do this. And my aunt's going to have some good tips on that here in a little bit for you guys too, because I was scared to death. Like Dusty came and helped me do a few, and I recorded her doing them. And then I would watch her recording, and then I like seriously scripted her word for word because I was scared to death with my voice shaking. And I knew I was copying her word for a little while, but it worked. And then until I got more comfortable to doing my own. But you guys, here's the deal. That was when we did full-blown presentations with a big PowerPoint, and it took like an hour, and I had to stand up there in front of all these people and talk. Okay, those are like, you can still do those. If you are that person that loves to stand in front of people and do those big presentations, there is PowerPoints in your virtual office. They are really awesome. It's the same ones we used for Super Saturday. There's all of the scripts there, so you just follow the scripts. They're actually a lot of fun, okay? And do those. They are very, very beneficial. If you can get a big meeting room and have a lot of people in there, or just a few people, they're great. But you don't have to do that. I particularly love the sip and seas now. And reason being because I feel like they're more of a social event. It's where you can get like at your house, if you have, you can invite some people over to your house. That's one of the best places because it's free, right? And people love to come to your house, okay? They want to come to your house and check it out. They've been there before. They want to come and visit. So it's a social event. You don't want to do it at your house. Your house is not big enough. It's always, like you guys can see, my vacuum cleaner is in my office. The house is really small too, so we would cram people in here, okay? But you can think outside the box. We have done so many at restaurants. That's personally one of my favorites. My aunt and I did one too in Prescott at a Mexican food restaurant. It was super fun. A lot of restaurants won't charge you for a little back room that they have, maybe that's separate from, where everybody else is. There's quite a few places you can call and find those out. And a lot of times you've got to ask them, do I have to, do I actually have to, hold on, I just muted everybody. Okay. Do I have to have everybody order food, a certain amount of food? Make sure you check with them on that. Most restaurants are okay with you just coming in and they're like, hey, they know everybody's going to order a drink. They're probably going to order something. They may want to eat. People come for food. I'm telling you guys, that's something I've learned. They come for food. So, and Annette just joined, and she's somebody else who has been to a lot. Hello, Annette. A lot of my Sip and Seas and opportunity meetings, and she's done them. So she's been to a lot of these restaurants I'm talking about as well. And I will tell you, find that, but also think about libraries. Like I know Allison and Tina did one at a library one time. Hello, Dana. And I know Dana's done some of these as well. And, if you think outside the box on Women's Club, we did one at a women's club in Safford that was really neat. It was free. Free is the best. There are so many different options out there, you guys. But even if a restaurant doesn't have a meeting room and you just want to, yes, Allison, exactly. Most libraries are free. You want to get together and have like a lunch or a breakfast or a, coffee shop where you're going to invite like, 5 or 6 of your friends. It depends on what you want to do. It does draw people in. Go and just get a table for your friends. Okay. This can be simple, right? Whatever, just think outside the box, like I said, and do it your style. But if you do this like at your house or maybe a friend's house or something, or a little room, the Sip and Seas, mainly what I would recommend is having some extra Slim on hand. You don't have to have a whole lot. Usually a couple sticks, or depending on how many people, even one stick covers it sometimes, okay? The Lean and the Active, of course, now, which is super exciting. And what I do, you guys, is I just get the water bottles and I mix it up in a water bottle. I don't do a big pitcher. Now you can, if you're at your house and you want to do a real pretty, the neat ones in the nice little glass thing, you can do that, okay? But to not waste it, I just mix them up in water bottles, and then I get the little shot cups at Walmart or the dollar store or whatever, the little small ones, and you pour your Slim in those little cups, and you have it all ready for your people before they get there. And you can do the same thing with the Active, and you can do the same thing with the Lean, okay? I've seen where the last Sip and See I helped one of our ambassadors do, she mixed the Lean with water, and then she mixed it, I think it was with almond milk or coconut milk, I can't remember. So at your house, you can do that. Otherwise, make it simple and just mix in water so that they can kind of taste it, okay? All we had was chocolate on hand, so that's all she did. And that's fine. You don't have to buy a bunch of stuff to make this work, okay? But I will say that people love to taste it. So if you can get some extras of those, definitely do that. And the shot cups, the little shot cups, all they need is a taste of it, okay? And then I will sometimes have samples of like the Ease Cream and the body cream, or my favorite is I take my bottles of the Ease Cream and the body cream, and then I will actually ask during the event, does anybody have any pain right now? Are your hands hurting, or is your neck, or do you have a headache or anything? And okay, use some of this. It's one of my favorite things. And at the end of the event, I ask them, hey, by the way, how do you feel? How did that Ease Cream work? Every single time. So like, wow, they actually forgot about the pain in their hands or their wrists or whatever, and they're That's a whole testimony right there, just on the Ease cream, okay? So, and with that, you guys, something I do, you guys can see on the top of my filing cabinet, I save all of my product bottles in a bag of all the Slims, the Active. I have like plastic cups inside of the Slims to make them puff out a little bit, but that's what I set up at my little Sip and Seas. And if you guys don't have all the product bottles yet and stuff, don't worry about that. But something to think about is save those, okay? They're great for just a little display and they cost you nothing, okay? I got a few like lemon candles at the dollar store that I added in there. You know, if you want to do something cute, I love the dollar store. That's why where I buy all of that stuff. And you can add in some couple little things in there, set them up on a table. People love that too because they could actually look at the bottle and read the ingredients and see what's in it, okay? But know that you don't have to do that starting out. So another big thing is door prizes. I always have like just a little bucket. I still have the same bucket that Dusty gave me like 6 years ago when we were in Payson and ran to the dollar store to get a little bucket that we signed people in. You guys, were not fancy. This is so easy, okay? Every time we would rip little pieces of paper, I know Annette remembers this, and we would write everybody's name on a little piece of paper and fold it in half and put it in the bucket. It works, okay? You can go, like I know GW, he has the big rolls of the tickets, you know, the red tickets and stuff too. You can buy those, I think GW at the dollar stores and stuff too now. So you can have those, you can hand those out to people and then draw the ticket numbers, okay? We've done that a few times. But everybody that comes in, have that set up. And then somebody, I forget who it was, finally made me a little sign to stick on my pink bucket that says sign in here after so many years. And so it's really fun to have them put that in there. And then throughout your event, you can actually draw names. Now, don't forget, that is the thing I am the worst at, you guys, and all of you that have been in my meetings always have to remind me at the end, Jeannie, the door prizes. So, and people are leaving. So I recommend doing it before the end. I just always forget. Set an alarm, something, because it's just on the wayside. Put it somewhere where you remember it, okay? But door prizes, I love to do. We've always done like maybe getting a really fun mixer cup, you know, that you can find with the little mixer things in them. You can put one of the, you know, if you have the samples of lean, you know, you can put one of these samples in that, or 3 sticks of Slim or Active, and have that as a door prize. You know, you can do anything creative like that. Any type of a water bottle, stick 3 sticks of Slim in there, okay? And that's a great little door prize. If you have extra products, like a bottle of ProBio 5, you can't go wrong with, right? We all love the ProBio 5. You know, if you have the BioCleanse, I have given away so many different things of the bottles, whatever I may have extra, and they absolutely love it, okay? So be creative with that as well. You can even take 3 sticks of the Slim and take some ribbon and tie some ribbon around it. People don't care. They're just there. They're excited. They're excited when you give them the gift of the products, okay? You can also do Plexus swag. Like my Plexus print has some really cool different things. If you want to get creative, depending on your audience, you know, and do that stuff, go for it, okay? Any of that stuff, but keep it simple. Don't go broke with doing Sip and Seas, okay? Because it's more of, like I said, a social event, getting together. The last one I did, actually, GW was there with me, and it was for Maida, and he came and helped and gave his testimony at Maida's Sip and See. So he didn't have anybody there, which is what we do, the whole One Plexus thing. But GW came and he talked to everybody and gave his testimony, which was really powerful coming from a man too. So they got to see, you know, that it's not only, yeah, it's not only for the women. and that was huge. That was so huge, you guys. So if you have, like, I know my aunt's planning one right now too, and she's getting together with some other ambassadors in the area. And so what you want to do is make sure you've got ambassadors around you or in the area you want to do one with, you know, get with them. Ask them, hey, let's do this together. and you can plan it together. Okay. And then it makes it super, super easy. And what you do on that is it's kind of like more of an open event. So then they can invite all of their friends. My husband's cooking, so it's a little loud in the kitchen. If you guys hear that. But anyways, you can invite everybody, and then kind of towards the end, you know, you can always say, hey, just please get with the person who invited you here tonight, get back with them, you know, and find out what products work best for you. Okay. Want to make sure and put that little plug in there. But okay, so if I missed anything, let me go back to you guys, because there's so much, but I don't want to overwhelm you. Okay, another thing to have at your Sip and See, super important, is a laptop or an iPad, because now we can sign people up, mobile devices, but super important to have that, because even the one that GW and I did for Maida, she had people that were wanting to sign up right away, and they wanted us to do it for them. So they sat there with us, got her laptop out, and boom, we got their welcome pack, did it all for them. It was very easy, okay? People are excited right then. They're excited, they're learning about the products, they want to hear from you, and so they want to be able to have that opportunity to do that right there, okay? And then back to what I was talking about, kind of, because I went off track with GW being there. It was really fun because the way we kind of did Maida's was, you know, just a social thing. So I got up there and kind of told my story, how long I'd been with Plexus. Then GW did and told his story a little bit. And then we showed one of the videos. Now, you can do this on your laptop or an iPad, or if you're somewhere that, like in your house, that you have a TV, you can get an HDMI cord and hook that up from your TV to your laptop, okay? And then you can play the video on your laptop that's going to play on the TV for a little bit of a bigger video. Okay, that's another option. But we played like one video there, and everybody just loved that. But you can play 2 or 3 videos. You know, it just depends. Don't make this harder than it is. Just have fun with it and do that. And then we all sat down. Everybody sat down. They had catalogs and brochures, and they started looking through their catalogs and trying to figure out what was personalized to them in those catalogs if they wanted to ask us questions. And then we just kind of all walked around, socialized, visited, asked them questions, answered questions, and it was a huge success. And that, I think, is what's fun, is when you can just listen to people and help be there to talk about their specific needs, instead of everybody listening to you present, you know, and not having that extra time to do that. So that's why I say those social events are, I think they're effective. They're no pressure. They're just come, taste the products, tell me about your health goals. One thing I wanted to share with you guys, so in the virtual office is the host your own Sip and See. This is super cool, you guys. It's under the invite. No, I can't get it to scroll up. It's under the invite section, but it has, under the resource center, it has a checklist, and this thing has it all. So that's where, like, I got the picture today for the team call. It's hard to see, you guys, but print that off. It is really, really, really handy and neat, and it talks about how to invite. It's exactly like what we have been doing, is everything in here, but it gives you kind of different ideas on, you know, if you've got somebody who's standing to the side, maybe go talk to them and introduce them to somebody else, okay, that's at your deal. All right, so you can also do many things with these, you guys. If you want to do a different, like a little theme, you can do a different theme, like some fun ones that I saw that have been posted lately, depending on what you're into, but there was one that was really cute called Sangria and Supplements. And so, of course, they went and got, you know, sangria is pretty cheap. They went and got some sangria. It kind of gets people's attention, like the food, right? Just come have some sangria or some red wine, whatever you want, and let's talk about supplements, you know? You can do something creative like that. Right now, it's getting super close to back to school. So those are always very, very popular. You know, a back to school brunch or a back to school health and happiness, you know, something easy, or even just a health and happiness hour, you know, come and visit and let's talk about your goals. And that's one thing that she says in here. So like in the how to invite. Like, I loved this one. She says, hey, I'm having a few friends over next Saturday for a sip and see to chat about our health goals and the steps we can take to get there. I'm also sharing samples of the Plexus products we talked about last week and giving away fun Plexus swag. It's going to be awesome. Can you join us? And then, of course, at your day and time. I mean, that, to me, that's super simple, fun. Just come and we're going to talk about your health goals, you know? So it's no pressure, right? That's in that little guide that I was telling you guys. But you can do any type of a little fun thing, like if you want to do like some appetizers, you know, and have some drinks, you can do chips and salsa, you know, set up a cute little festive different things, you know, anything. You guys, if you want to go to a full-blown barbecue and invite all the families to come and the wives go in and sit down and you take a few minutes to talk about Plexus with them, great, okay? People love that. Oh, another fun one that I heard was a balanced brunch, which was with the New Balance. So that was kind of a fun one that I saw some people to kind of introduce the balance. So a balanced brunch, and then they were having it at brunch time. Okay, we used to do all of these at night. I mean, it was like boom, boom, boom. You had to do it this time. There's so many options now, you guys, that makes it fun. Okay, so and the info sheets. That's another big thing that I love. You can print those out, and then you have the ingredients. You have everything right there, so you could kind of spread them out on a table or something for people to also pick up. And that diverts a lot of questions if you've got, you know, people that are asking questions. You know, let's go look at this info sheet, okay? And also, my biggest thing you guys have heard me say is if you're worried about questions, don't be, because I was scared to death, and you should have heard some of the questions Dusty and I had. It was crazy, but what we said, and we say still to this day, because we still do not know how to answer questions all the time, is, you know what? I'm not sure the answer to that, but I'm going to find out for you. And if you have somebody you can message right there, your sponsor or your working upline, message them if they're available to help you answer that. Ask on the team pages right away, and maybe before they leave, you'll have that answer. Otherwise, you want to get their contact info, of course, if you don't already have it, to be able to get back to them. They appreciate that, okay? I still do that a ton. So do not worry about having to know everything. And my aunt's going to talk a little bit about that too. But also, you guys, you know, referrals. Don't hesitate to ask your current customers, your wholesale ambassadors that are not wanting to work the business. Hey, you know, would you mind hosting a sip and see for me? You know, inviting a few of your friends over. I'll provide everything. I'll bring some snacks. You know, I'll bring the products over. And then maybe offer them like a fun little incentive. Maybe offer them a discount on their products for the next month, or a free product, or, you know, maybe if it's somebody that's not taking Plexus, maybe you want to offer them, you know, a $15 Target or Amazon gift card, or take them a little gift basket or something. You know, friends will help you out. And you know what happens is when you do that, it's pretty cool, because they invite their friends over, and then you're talking about the products and the business, and their friends are wanting to join you, and they're like, hey, these are my friends. So it makes them think, maybe I should be doing this. And I've seen that happen so many times where they decide they want to sign up because they want their friends under them. So, and that's perfect. But referrals are so great too, okay? So if you are in an area and you've not done a sip and see yet, really want to challenge you guys to do that. To do a sip and see. Don't be scared. Just have fun with it. You guys, if you have 1 or 2 people show up, that's okay. We have had that a lot of times. We have had nobody show up to our meetings before, okay? We've had all ambassadors just show up and no guests show up. It's okay. We've turned it into a training event when we've done that. But my point is, invite as many people as you can, because half will show up, maybe half, okay? And it's proven. I'm here to tell you it's proven. But invite, invite, invite. And with the active and now the balance, it gives you those extra kind of, hey, I have got something else to share. Plus the MetaBurn, because a lot of us have not had Sip and Seas since all these new products, okay? And of course, the new Slims. So maybe you've got a lot of people in your area that have not been able to try the new Slims. And with reaching out as much as I have been about the Active, it's been quite interesting how many people that now are like, oh, yes, I want to try that. And by the way, I want to try that Slim too. And I'm like, okay, I've reached out to them how many times and they will not respond. But when I go talk to them and I'm handing them a sample of the Active, then they're interested in the Slim too. So it is amazing, like I said, what that one-on-one personal touch does. So these Sip and Seas, you guys, it will explode your businesses. It really will. 98%, Dusty and I, everybody has proven, but we have proven at our own, those people will sign up as ambassadors or customers. It is that effective. So, and if you guys if you don't have a testimony yet, like I said, don't worry about that. You don't have to have a big one. Hey, how did you like the taste? You know, how did you like, you know, did it make you feel fuller? Did you sleep better last night if you just took it yesterday? You know, if you're brand new, you do not have to have a huge testimony, okay? But don't hesitate to reach out to people in your area that you know are taking Plexus. Your customers, have them come and share their testimony for you, okay? They love to do that. People love to talk about themselves. So they will come and share that, okay? So, all right, I'm gonna turn it over to my aunt. She's got a few things she's gonna share with you guys, and then we will open it up for questions to you guys too. So, Tina, go ahead whenever you're ready to unmute.
Geez, I don't think you left me much. I'm sitting here writing down a few little things, and I'm like, she covered everything I had written down here.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all good. One of the things that we did start doing was name tags. I didn't see you mention that. That's because when you're doing one with maybe 3 or 4 different ambassadors, we did name tags, and we would put under their name what ambassador brought them to the meeting. So there was never any problem at the back end of, you know, I got into some situations where people were trying to steal my people. So we started doing name tags, and one of my other ambassadors, Beth, had these really cute ones made up that said Plexus on them. So that's something that you didn't talk about. The giveaways, of course, yes. And I don't wait till the end. I'm like you, that must be a family thing. I do mine periodically throughout the meeting because I will forget and take it all home. I just do. Like Jeannie said, when we first started doing these, most of my personal ones I do because I have a smaller house. I always do in public locations. I felt like people were more comfortable because a lot of mine were cold people. I mean, these weren't friends and family. This was a group of people I met on Facebook. I threw it out there, and I was getting strangers, total strangers, and I think they felt more comfortable coming to a public place. The last one I did, this is another idea. I did it at our mall here in Prescott. There's a mall up there that has a food court that's always empty. So that's where I did my last one. It's a really good option. It's free. They can eat if they want to or whatever. But something that I did back in the day, and we're going to start doing again, I did throw it out there. This was part of it's almost part of my sign-up routine. When I first started doing this, as long as they were close enough that I could get to them, I told them when I signed them up that one of the first things we were going to do was have them do we called it home parties then, but a sip and see. And that was kind of part of their package, and it was for them. It wasn't, you know, Amanda and we're working on one, but we're opening it up to everybody. But what I would do was just for that person, like my new ambassador, brand new. Okay, you invite your family and friends to your house. This is a way to get them to get people, you know, they're 3 or whatever. You set it up, you get the people. I would go there and do presentation. And back then it was always a presentation. I don't do those anymore, but that's what we did. We have also moved over towards the more personal stuff because we have more fun sitting down with magazines and talking. I mean, it's so much more fun than the presentations are good. And And it's like I told Jeannie this morning, for me, I kind of make that decision on the fly. When I go into one of these, I'm ready to do either. It depends on how many people show up for me. If there's 15 to 20 people that show up, I'm going to do a full-blown presentation. You know, if it's just 5 or 6, then we just sit down and talk. It's one of those you just do as you're going. But going into people's houses, and I mean, I've done quite a few at my new ambassador's house for them. We go in, we hook up to their TV, do a little presentation and everything she said she does. And yes, save your bottles, save everything. I have like 4 sets now. I try to hang on to them because I know somebody's going to want them down the road here. But honestly, yeah, she pretty much covered everything. I don't have, one of the things that I felt like when I did these at one of my ambassadors' houses, we would hook up. See, I'm going to make that person get up there. They're going to tell their testimony. They're going to help me answer questions. They're going to talk to the people in the room. And to me, that was part of training, because it teaches them not to be so nervous about getting up in front of these people. I mean, if you're there with them, doing it with them the first time, it felt like it made them a little more comfortable. And most of them were afterwards like, okay, I can do that. So it's if you let these guys sit behind and not be involved in these things, I feel like that's just what they do. They're going to sit there and they're not going to get involved. And it's scary. Never really been too scary for me, but I've had some really timid ambassadors who were almost traumatized by having to get up there and do this with me, but they learned from it and they did better at it. We also, my power partner and myself, did a few, we call them walkabouts, but we went and did 3 different places, and her and I would go and do these in these towns. I'd go up and do one for her. She'd come down and do one for me, and we would just go to 2 or 3 locations. And we used to do that a couple times a year. We haven't done it this year, but those are awesome too. Invite people, get your flyers out there. People show up, people don't. It's like Jeannie said, I don't know how many I've done where it's been just ambassadors or nobody showed, or 1 or 2. To me, if 1 shows up, that's it, that's enough. I mean, locally, I wouldn't want to travel 1,000 miles and have 1 show up, but these don't cost anything to do if you watch what you're doing. They're very cheap. I don't spend a lot of money doing it. I usually get snacks, but and if you watch where you're going and where you're doing it, man, it shouldn't cost you anything. If you're doing it at your house, of course it's free. Like she said, there's so many restaurants here that have rooms we can use. Again, the food court, like I said, there's places all over the place you can go and they'll let you do it for free. How to get people there, I can't give you any advice on that, because I've had 20 show up and I've had 2 show up. I don't know what the difference was. I don't know why more came. I think it has to do with timing. It has to do with what's going on. Time of the day you schedule them. Working 80 hours a week like I was back then, I could only do them on weekends. Well, what happens on weekends, especially in the summertime? People are busy. They don't want to come. I mean, now I could do it on a weeknight and it wouldn't be a problem. But it's all about timing, I think. And it depends on how many people you have localized that would actually come to something like that. That's really about all I had, Jeannie. You covered everything else.
Oh, that was perfect. You brought up some more great points like we talked about this morning. And I think the one thing is the events too that we never did when we first started doing them, but setting up a Facebook event to remind people. And that's one thing that guide, because that reminded me of that. In this guide, they talk about that, about how to set up a Facebook event. So at least your people are getting that reminder, but I think follow-up is a huge thing, is just to keep, to make sure you follow up. I'm so excited to see you on Tuesday night or Saturday or whatever it is. can't wait for you to try these products and get your feedback. You know, I can't wait for your opinion. Something like that, but it's that follow-up too. But just like she said, you can follow up until you're blue in the face and they still may not show up. Don't take that personal, okay? Because it is, like she said, it's so hard sometimes. And I followed up with people afterwards and said, my gosh, I missed you. You know, I wish you could have made it. And they always are like, I'm so sorry, really wanted to be there. And I'm like, hey, let's just set up to maybe meet for coffee tomorrow morning or something. When's a good time for you? Then you can specifically meet that person when they are committed and they can commit to you. Okay, so it gives you that other good I guess reason, or yeah, to meet up with them, because you don't want to lose them just because they didn't come. And then just like my aunt said, super important what she mentioned about helping your team members do these. That is such a huge part of their success, because like she said, it helps them go silver, which is so important, and it helps them be confident in sharing. So like when you help them, like she said, right off the bat in kind of that sign up process, hey, I would love to do a sip and see for you. You know, let me help you. Let's get some friends on your guest list. You know, let's do a fun. And it's not like I know people have said, do you have to do parties? You know, this is not like the Tupperware parties or anything, you know, like we used to all have to go to in the candle parties, right? People would dread those sometimes, but I know some people also loved them because they wanted that excuse to get out and go visit with their friends, right? They wanted that excuse to get out of the house, away from the kids, you know, come for an hour and visit with friends, do something for themselves. So you've got to figure out those ways to tell them that, okay? You know, this is going to be your hour. I want you to come. Let's talk about your health goals, getting your gut healthy, whatever you know that they need, unless it's somebody like my aunt said that's a cold call. You know, you're just going to kind of, hey, just so excited to hear about your health goals. I can't wait to really meet you in person, you know, if you've got some people like that. But when you are doing these right off the bat for them, it gives them that confidence of, oh my gosh, okay, yes, she's going to be there for me, or he's going to be there for me in person to talk about this. And then they have people that are interested. They are so excited. They are calling you the whole way home, telling you how fun and exciting that was. And they can't wait to get a post up on Facebook then. You don't even have to tell them to post. They're already got their post ready, because you have built that confidence and poured that belief into them and showed them that you're there to help and support them. And that's a big thing, okay? So very, very glad she brought that up. And then always, you guys, if you've got somebody, another thing when she was talking, if you've got somebody that doesn't live by you, okay, because we have a lot of that. We have teams all over, okay? And so if you don't have somebody that's close to you that you can necessarily get to, and it's okay, because there's ways around this that are fun that I used to do a lot. And that is exactly what we're doing right now is Zoom, okay? If I've got somebody that's far away and they're like, yes, I would love to do that, but I'm scared to death. I don't want to do that. Okay, they can Zoom you in. They can put you on their little iPad or the laptop, or I've been on TV screens in people's living rooms before with the HDMI cord, okay? And it has been so much fun, because then I'm there with them, so they're not alone. So then I can help them answer questions. If they want me to do a presentation, I can, but it's kind of just being there to help support them and answer questions. They can hear me, and usually I can see all of them out in the living room, whoever's crossing, you know, across the camera. But I'm there. I'll sit there and help to answer questions and stuff. So, you know, you can do that. Also, you guys, you can do an online one where if they, like we do the PJ parties, right? But you can do this for one of your ambassadors and do a Zoom link. It's all free, of course. And you send them a Zoom link and they invite their people to join this Zoom. They all get on just like this. And it's the next best thing to personal, right? Or to being one-on-one. And you can still have a fun, have some catalogs that, you know, share some things. You can share your screen. If you don't know how to do that, don't worry. Just talk about the products, talk about what it's done for you. Have a few other, you know, your upline jump on and share their testimony and be there with you. So like I said, thinking outside the box, there's so many different ways that you can do this to reach everybody. Just, being creative with that. I'm so glad you brought that up. Because we don't, like, my rule of thumb is, like, usually we don't travel for somebody until they're gold as far as like flying, and actually going a long distance. If they can commit, they at least have to have at least 20 people that will attend to make it worth it. So when your team is asking you, hey, Dale, will you do a sip and see for me? Hi, Dale. Will you do a sip and see for me? And, she's way on the other side of Oregon. Dale's like, gosh, that's, maybe an 8-hour drive or a 6-hour drive. Dell's going to say, look, I would love to, but I need, you to maybe let's do, an online Zoom, or if you want to have a home party, I'll Zoom in with you, and Dell can be right there on her computer to help. And then when the time comes, when she's got more of team growing and Dell's got some golds and those people are taking off and they've got a lot, then Dell might say, you know what? Yes, it's going to be worth that 6 or 8 hour drive or fly over there and help that person actually do a presentation or a meeting personally. Okay, so don't feel you guys need to do that to all of your people. If you've got somebody who's asking that's a long ways away, just say, you know what, let's just try this. Okay, because that's a lot, that's travel, that's a lot for you guys to do that. Okay, and so you don't want to you don't want to overcommit yourself. Okay, that's just kind of the way I do it. You guys do it how you want to do. If you feel it's somebody and it's family and you're going to go visit them anyways, heck yeah, do one. Okay, so whatever, okay, good. All right, you guys, anybody else have anything? Annette, do you have any tips or anything you want to share from the ones you've done and been to, or She's gonna unmute. Hang on. Can I unmute you? There you go. Got it.
It's bad when you haven't been on one of these in so long, you forgot what you're doing. I guess I would just say that I guess I get pretty nervous. So I think the thing that I wanted to say is what I'm learning more and more. What used to freak me out is not knowing the ingredients and all that, like what Jeannie said, oh my gosh, somebody's got a question or whatever.
Yes.
But I think that the thing that is resonating with me more and more is just share the stories.
Right.
And that's what I'm really excited about, to share the stories, because I have them. And I know people that have them, so that's what is that's what I guess I would say about doing these.
Perfect. I love that, Annette, and that's great advice too. Great advice, because she's exactly right.
That was something else. I know I told you, Jeannie, before, when I was doing mine before, I printed out an ingredients list. I'm a paper person. I have to have the paper in front of me for these people to read. And that kind of resolves some of that issue. I mean, I don't know how many times through these meetings people would ask me, well, what's in that, or what is it does? I couldn't even pronounce some of the words yet. So I always had ingredients lists, and then I had the product list and the pricing list. I had those printed out on the tables. I just handed them one.
Right.
Here's all the ingredients. This is what's in it. I mean, I never worried about saying, I don't know. All I know is it works.
Right.
That's always my go-to answer. But printing out those and having the ingredients and all that stuff handy to hand them saves you a whole lot of stress over worrying about questions they're going to ask you don't know answers to.
That's right. And it's true. And they don't want us to be experts, because that's not duplicatable. If they think we know everything, I'm the last person knows everything about the ingredients. So, and just because I research and I do, but I am very, little over here on that. And so they know they can do what I'm doing, because I'm pretty simple. At what I come back. to them. So, yeah, I love that. Any questions you guys have before we let you guys go? Anybody has? Or any tips, things? I know Lisa's done some sip and sees herself too. She's been really good at doing some of those and has been to some of mine too when I went to Utah.
Well, I've had experience with a couple. I went to visit my daughter in Utah, and Liberty came and did my first when I think I had been doing the business for a week. And I had it at my daughter's house. I had 2 people show up. They both signed up the next day as ambassadors.
Yay!
All you need.
Right.
And then I had one here on my own Halloween, and kind of did a Halloween theme. And my daughter showed up, who's already an ambassador, and my supervisor from work showed up as moral support, but she doesn't like the taste. She can't do stevia. So but she came to support me. That's all that showed up. So I did the presentation just as a practice.
That's right.
Kind of thing.
Right.
And then I did what I call a flash sip and see after water aerobics class.
Yes, that was so cool. I forgot about that. Teresa, talk about that. Yes. Super
Well,
fun.
we had been talking in the pool while we were doing aerobics a few times about what I was doing to lose weight and everything. And I was telling the people, and I had several of them say, well, I want to know more about that. And so the next time I went to water aerobics, I had a bottle mixed up in my bag with some little cups. And as soon as class was over, I got it out and set it on the side of the pool and gave them all a taste and gave them my cards and the brochures and stuff.
Love it.
So, yeah, that was just kind of I didn't really plan it. It was just, I did it. It was a little bit chaotic, and I wasn't able to answer a lot of questions that they might have had, but I handed out a lot of business cards and got it out there anyway. So
fun, Teresa. That was a good idea. I forgot you did that. I'm glad you brought that up.
But I now have 3 local ambassadors as of this week. I signed another one. So I'm really wanting to get they all work where I work. So I'm wanting to get them together and see if we can do maybe a work type one or their friend type one. My newest one, she's retired. But she did say she wanted to see how I think she should have gotten her order today. Okay. She wanted to be on it for a little bit, but she does have some friends and family she's thinking of she wants to share, but she wants to taste them and, use them a little bit before she does. So.
And that's another thing too. A lot of us live in small towns, or most of us do, and sometimes it gets hard when you think, how do I do that? Because everybody knows all of the same people. And so let me tell you, as you guys know, with Dusty and I being best friends our whole life, we had all the same friends when we first started this. So on Facebook, we had all of the same friends, that were seeing our posts. So it's kind of the same thing. But when you do live in a small town and you've got multiple people you're signing up and the sip and sees, I've had this question come up so many times of, Jeannie, how do we do that? How do you keep it to where there's no feelings hurt and this person wants to invite this person, but how do you not step on their toes and their, and so it gets hard for me when it's my team members, and unless it's more than 1 or 2, if it's one person, I'm like, okay, you invite who you want, regardless of if they know me. If I've talked to them about Plexus before, then usually they're asking me, they're asking that person, have you tried Plexus before? If they have, then they're kind of off the list, of course. But if it's somebody who has not, then bring them, because that person is under me. I want to help them grow their business, so I want them to sign up those people as well, okay? Unless it's somebody that I've already put in a lot of time to, and that's a different story sometimes. But even then, Plexus goes, we rise above here, when it comes to that stuff. So we don't worry about that stuff as much, except for it's hard when you have a bunch of some sidelines, which is kind of what my aunt has had to deal with a little bit too. And, everybody wanting to do events together can get a little hard, because you do have the people coming. So you just kind of have to, use your best judgment, you guys, on that. And you know, if you can just have it for maybe one person at their house and have those people that they feel will respond to them and want to come, then have individual little sip and sees, because sometimes that creates a lot less problem than having a big one, because I found that some people, they're, oh, well, I better invite the whole town. One person does because they don't want anybody else to get to their guests, okay? So like I said, we don't do that with Plexus. We just rise above and just use your judgment. And if you have that, I would really recommend just having individual sip and sees for those people and at different times, you know, for them. It all works out because you guys, oh my gosh, so many people, you know, that I was really good friends with in high school, and maybe Dusty wasn't as good of friends, they've signed up under Dusty because they had that connection, or she reached out at the right time, or she posted that post that just, wow, you know, or whatever the reason is, and that's okay. We've dealt with that through the last 6.5 years of having the same people we know sign up under her or under me, okay? And so just don't get emotionally attached to that either, okay?
That's how the first two last year that I signed up, that I work with, one of them went to the opportunity meeting with me and signed up the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And then a girl that works with her that I'm also friends with wanted to sign up. And I gave her the option. I said, doesn't matter to me, sign up under her if that's more comfortable, or with me. But I treat her, she's a level 2, but I my level 1s because my level 1 doesn't really want to do.
That's right.
So I still my level 2 that my level 1s are so new with.
Yes, exactly
On
right.
all of my reminders and my posts and stuff. I treat them just like they were a level 1.
Yep, and that's good. That's absolutely, like I said, you just got to use your best judgment on that, you know, and try to do what's right for that person, you know, too. But just wanted to put that out there because I know I get a lot of questions on that. So, all right, you guys. Well, it has been an hour. Do you guys have any final questions? Sorry for keeping you guys so long, but yes, Annette, please.
I was wondering, when you said that you share some videos at the Sip and See, do you have any specific ones that you do?
Yes, great question, Annette. Okay, so it's on my
The ones that you just sent me, we need to start using.
Those are the ones
are
I use.
awesome.
So all the ones that are in our send, share, invite, you know, that is the corporate ones that came out.
Opportunity and
yes, all of those. The product video, the opportunity, and the ambassador stories ones. And I'm gonna repost
the tear jerkers.
Yes, the tear jerkers. I'll repost those, you guys, for us so that you have them, and I'll repost them in the comments too, so that you can just copy and paste that like to your notes or whatever to have. And then I'll also, the ones that are really cool too are, you know, the ones that are the personal ambassador ones that corporate came out with. And that is ABART, you know, and all that. There's 3 of them, I think. Those are really good too. But I use those top 3 in the send, share, invite that we do as, you know, sending, hey, would you watch this video? So great question.
I think those are so cinematically neat.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
That I think throwing them up on a 55-inch TV screen
They're
would be
huge.
amazing
They're huge.
to see in there.
Yep.
Would you also send the link for the other ones you were talking about too?
Yep.
Or
I will.
post in comment?
Yep. I'm gonna do
And
that.
then one more thing, I couldn't remember where exactly did you say the Sip and See info is?
Okay.
In the back office, where?
Glad you did. So when you log into your virtual office, click on, you know, the 3 dots at the top or the 3 lines, and then go to Training Center. And then under Training Center, or Training, and then it's Resource Center. Sorry, Annette. Training and then Resource Center. And then once you go to Resource Center, you'll see, you know, there's you can bring the drop down, like click on the little, I don't know if it's a plus or what it is, but you open each of those white tabs, okay? And under, so you'll have the sharing system, and then I think it's send, share, invite. And invite, open that one, Annette, so it expands, and it has all the stuff that has to do with invite under there. And it has Sip and See guide is in there, okay? Yeah, I spend most of my time in that resource center. It's got so much crazy stuff. So
I'm still trying to figure out where it all is. I know it's in there someplace, but it's
amazing. Yeah, all you have to do is just training and resource center, and then it opens up and it has business materials at the end, leadership
compensation
stuff.
plan.
It has all the videos in there too. It also has all of those videos are in there, but I'll copy and paste them too so that they're easy. But it has product videos in there.
Does it have the new like price list and all that stuff?
It
Will
has
you
the
print out?
price list. I don't know if I haven't looked. I have not looked to see if it's been updated with the balance yet. I'm
I
surprised.
like the ingredients. I mean, that's where you can go also to print out what I'm saying to take with me.
Yeah.
The
Well,
pricing
and
list and the ingredients. Boom, you're done.
yep, exactly. It's really, really super easy. So, and then the info sheets, and I need to probably tag that to an announcement in the team page, because I have where you guys can copy and paste all the info sheets. So it's not that's actually, because I had to go to the computer to get to the HTTP site. So it's not tied to your shareables where it goes to your website, but it opens a lot easier for people. So it's just boom, you just copy and paste that. I should probably put that in the announcement section too, because then it's easy. But I have it like in my notes, you know, and then boom, you can just print those off super, super easy. So yeah, good point. That answer that, Annette? Good?
Yes, thank you.
Great questions. Thank you. Anybody else? Any questions or thoughts, you guys?
Oh, I just can't wait to have mine.
Good, Amanda. I like that.
Get it over with, right?
Right?
They're fun. They are so much fun. You will get addicted. That's why I said, I'm like, it becomes an addiction where I get home and I'm like, I gotta do another one, you know?
You're going to so much because once you get them to do it once, it's like, oh, can we do another one? Let's do one every month.
Do another one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are addicting, and
Well,
they're
see, now fair will be fair. She'll come help me with mine, and then I'll go help her with hers.
That's
right.
exactly right, Amanda. Yep. And it's fun. Like I said, you can get creative and festive, and you know, you could July 4th stuff this month. It's all on sale right now. You know, go to the dollar store and pick up red, white, and blue, and you can still decorate. You know, and just keep it simple and fun. So, yep.
We'll figure something out.
Yes. Cool.
I have all the pink and black stuff anyway, so she doesn't need anything.
That's good. There you go. Telling you, there's so many fun things you can do. Yeah, and they really just love to come and look at the products, and you know, they have the catalog. So, and the brochures on Plexus Print too. If you guys want to have, you know, some of the little brochures specifically for products, you can, you know, print out those too, and you don't have to do the catalogs if you don't want to order a bulk of catalogs. Completely up to you guys. Okay, nobody's gonna know. So.
Well, I'm waiting for the new one to come out before I order.
I know I still have some of the older ones, and so, but you can always,
of old ones.
I know. Well, and that, like the balance, now I'm like, I need to order balance brochures because I just ordered the active, and so it's like, but those are really effective to have, you know, for handing out. Those brochures have been handy. So
if you're not going to do the big old presentation, then you really need to have something, a magazine or pamphlet, something with the products.
So that they can learn.
You can do the price list, but it doesn't go into the pretty like a magazine.
Exactly right. And the catalogs are really attractive because of, you know, they show all the products, and I've had people that are like, well, what's this one? You know, well, what's this? And they're telling me their health goals or health issues, and I'm flipping through it going, well, let me show you this product, you know, and then my talking guide is all kind of right there. It makes it so simple, you know. So
I went on my back office and found the brochure, and I printed it, and I put my information on the bottom.
Perfect.
It's just regular paper, but it's a lot easier if you're sending to fold this up than a cardboard one.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Great idea.
But some of the other ones I saw were only electronic brochures, so they weren't laid out to where you could print them out. But the active and the balance I did find, so I printed a bunch of those out just to have to hand out.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Good to know.
I love it. So Dale, are you getting one planned soon? It's okay. Press on it, and then I'm not sure how to do it.
Hold down your space bar.
Click on your screen. Oh, and then I lost her. Oh no, she's there. She's there. I see her now.
Just hold down your space bar and that'll do it temporarily. Unmute you.
It won't let me unmute her either. So I was going to try to unmute her. You
Okay,
got
can
it.
you hear me now?
You got it.
I have to look at my counter of stuff.
I can see you're active.
Absolutely. Actually, I really do want to hold one of these. I can't take a whole active, like a half of an active mixed with a slim is what I do. And I put in about 19 to 20 hours in on this fabulous walkway to my barn, and we're going to have a sip and walk because if it wasn't for the active, I wouldn't have had enough energy to get this walkway done. And I'm not quite finished. I've got about 40 more feet just to lay down some loose gravel, but I'm going to have one of those. And I have such a young team, and most of the people that are underneath me don't really want to do the business. They just became an ambassador because we had free ambassadorships and they wanted wholesale pricing. So they're really starting to like it. And so I have a couple number twos, and I just talk to everybody because I really don't know the products at all. I just know that I like how I feel and I like how it makes me look. I haven't lost weight, but my skin looks better and I feel better. And I got my daughter on it and my husband and my 81-year-old mother. And so, you know, it's been a fun product.
I love that.
I love it.
I know, that cool. I'm so excited.
Yes.
And right there, like, you know, those stories of telling
Excitement.
people, yeah, when you have your sip and see, that's all you need, Dell, is just to talk about that and show them your walkway. Come at her. You guys need to walk this.
Yeah.
That.
It's going to be a sip and walk, and I'm hoping I can get Rachel to come down to Klamath. It's only a couple hours. She has more products and more knowledge, and I think that would be fun.
Betcha.
And a couple of my ambassadors have great little gardens. Mind you, I can't grow anything but quackgrass and foxtails. I can grow really good foxtails, so I think I can get a couple of my ambassadors to invite their friends because they like to drink. So I think they'll drink wine and Plexus both. So
That's right, Dale. That's what I was going to say. You got to have whatever for everybody. And that was a great point you brought up, Dale, too, because I forgot on, absolutely, I love you said that, is mixing a bottle of the Slims and Active together, too, and letting them taste test that.
So what, and I don't know if it's right or wrong, but what I'll do is I'll put a whole Active and a whole Slim.
Yep.
And then I split it and I give half to my husband and half to me because I didn't think I needed
The whole.
both sticks all at once because that seems pretty strong.
There you go, Dale. Whatever works for you, and that's perfect. And that way you can mix that bottle and then just let them taste it. You know, then they kind of get an idea of what it tastes together. Because I've had a few people, they are not huge on the mango, or I have one that's on the peach, but mixed with the Slim, they fell in love with it. So
Yeah, I don't care for the Active by itself, but if I cut it with either the HC or the regular Slim, it's pretty good.
yeah, exactly.
Yummy.
That's good.
Oh, I love both.
I like it with the XOS. I don't like it with the HC.
Oh, I do too. I love it with both. It's every day, every other day. I'm like, which one am I going to mix with today? Because it's so good. But I like that fruit. I like that. So awesome.
All right,
So
ladies, I
excited.
gotta go.
Hey, you guys, thank you so much
Yeah,
for
me
being
too.
Thank you.
so long. Appreciate you guys.